Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of
How Ya Been?
Our limited edition podcast sponsored by DoorDash.
Yes, this week we get to talk to an old friend, Justine, a legend in her own right.
And I just love her.
Oh, well done, Grace. Well done. No, we have the best time with her. We knew it would be a good time, but I didn't know I would howl with laughter, talking about everything from her passion of jujitsu to hummingbird poop. So let's get into it and ask, hey, Justine, how you been?
Good. Pretty good.
That's the best response
Still alive.
ever.
You know,
That's exciting.
I know that question used to be a sign of like intimacy and respect between, you know, people that wanted to really find out how each other have been. And now it's loaded and it
Scary.
is threatening and it's all bad. We
How you
realized this
been?
after
Yes.
we decided to do this show.
How you been is like asking someone like, do you believe in God? No, it's just like, hey, this is heavy, man.
At this point, it's like, well, how much time do you have?
Exactly.
Well, okay. That leads me to my first question for you. How much time do you have in a day, Justine? Because one, we've caught you in your home, I believe, but you've been on the road like crazy from what it looks like the last like few weeks, few days.
Yeah.
What's your regular day been like if you have a regular day these days?
I mean, I didn't leave my house for probably 8 months.
Yeah.
And then I feel like we started just going a little crazy. And the thing is I in Los Angeles, obviously you guys are very familiar with it.
Yeah.
There are so many people here that I would see more people on one walk around the block with my dog than I saw in 3 weeks on the road in remote places.
Wow.
So it was incredible. I was like, we saw no one. We were able to like go outside and explore. And like in Airbnbs, you don't ever see anybody. You just check
It's
in, you go in.
it's or
Yeah, and,
contactless
like,
check-in.
Exactly. And we're so crazy. We bring like every single possible like cleaning supply, air purifiers. So it's like, it takes us so much time to just like clean the place again. But
They're like, do we owe you a fee?
Right. Can I get that cleaning fee back?
But you also, so you're traveling with your sister. You guys have a podcast together. You guys work together so much. We are curious, as two people that are not blood related, but work with each other in a large capacity. Do you guys have a system in place for working together? Or is it just natural that you're like, this is my sister, this is my literal other brain, like same brain. How do we
Do you
not
have a
work
safe
together?
word of like, get out of my face?
Yeah.
Honestly, like, so it's usually my fault when things don't get done. So basically, like Jenna, like she doesn't have to say anything. Like she will just give the look. And that look, it honestly is so painful. I'm like, I just don't want to disappoint Jenna. So it's like, it's a look that will kill. So I just know that it's like the disappointment is real. But it is hard because it's like we are the same person, but it's kind of cool because where my kind of weaknesses are, they're her strengths, and like her weaknesses are sort of my strengths. So it does tend to work out pretty well. And I'm
yin
just
and
surprised
yang.
she hasn't killed me yet, to be honest.
Truly. I mean, have you guys spent more time in the pandemic together, less time in the pandemic together? Have you operated on a bit of a different system? Like Mamrie said, is there a safe word of like, I need space?
I think she'll just be like, I'm gonna go take a nap. And then like, all right, I think that's our cue of she's gonna go take a nap and I'm gonna go somewhere. And we don't live together either. So I feel like, yeah, so we see each other, I would say probably the same because we still used to travel together and and stuff like that. So I'd say we probably see each other about the same as the before times.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of travel, so you just did a road trip, but like in general, one of the big things, the thing that's making me crazy during this time is the lack of travel. Like the other day, I fully said out loud, I missed the kale salad at the Delta Lounge. Like that.
She said it out loud to no one.
Being said, I don't speak English, but I like missed that so much. And you were traveling all the time. So how was your road trip? Like,
It was-
did that like scratch that itch for you?
It really did. Just like being inside, and we used to do so much travel content. So it's like not having that was really tough. And it was like the decision to do it. It was like, we've been inside, we've been safe. I get COVID tests like 3 times a week because I'm insane. Like I've spent so much money on COVID tests. It's absurd.
Justine, I have to say how like remotely proud I am of you as a content creator that speaks up about politics this year, and especially about the pandemic this year in a way that's just like this is common knowledge, and I don't know why I need to also be saying this, but this is my point of view, and I hope that you also share this point of view. And I've just done the clap emoji in real life to myself reading your tweets for the last like 8 months. It's been wonderful. So I totally get that. It's like, you guys want to travel now because you followed all the rules. You've been playing by the book, like above and beyond that. Now it's like, how do you maintain your sanity? Get a little travel in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely
cocoon.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's like we brought our own groceries. We rarely ever went outside of like our comfort zone. And, you know, I mean, at the beginning of it, I was like, should I just buy a Sprinter van? But now those are so hard to get. So like that's kind of like my next thought process, because it's like, I don't really feel entirely safe flying, but I did have to travel for CES this year, which was in Redmond. So that was the first time that I actually went on set. And it was kind of cool because, you know, everybody is so aware and hypersensitive of everything, and they have COVID compliant officers. So it's like, I felt so safe that like if somebody was standing too close to me, like they would get yelled at. So it's just, it's really cool to kind of see that kind of all kind of unfold, because it's a whole new territory that we've never experienced before. I mean, this is my first pandemic. I don't know about you guys.
No, the one in 1918 was... It was bad, but then we had the 20s, which was worth it. Which was friggin' worth it.
What a time.
No, I've been on a couple sets since this happened, and you're right, like they're so focused on it because the last thing they want to do is someone get sick, because that costs them money. So it's like
entire production.
I'd say it's because they want to be like courteous and safe. It's because they don't want to lose any money.
Yeah.
But it makes me think of all the times we've just been disgusting before this.
Yeah,
I'm disgusted thinking about it, honestly.
Like bowls where you like, let me grab that out of a bowl.
I've always heard that remote controls everywhere have like the most amount of germs on them, and like I've understood the like getting into a hotel room, wiping it down, but now it's like really hit me that like I've been, especially on planes, you know, when you see people like wiping down their seats and everything, I've been like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Now I'm just like disgusted in hindsight with myself.
Oh, absolutely.
I
About everything.
used to kind of do those weird things anyway. Maybe not to the extent now, but like now it's like, oh, cool. No one's going to make fun of me for like cleaning my airplane seats or like, you know, offering hand sanitizer to somebody sitting next to me. Like it's very common.
Moment, Justine.
Right.
You're the new normal.
Okay, I'm curious about CES because like CES is essentially a tech expo in a way. It's like here's all the new stuff that's going on. And you've been hosting it for a while now. So what was it like this year? Was it any different other than just like the protocols for like COVID?
Well, it's crazy because it was all digital. So normally we all gather in Las Vegas, hundreds and thousands of people.
Crazy.
And so it's like the comparison from last year was sort of when the whole kind of COVID thing started happening. So I feel like it kind of got spread at CES last year, which, I mean, it's hard because it's like when you have that many people, and every single year I end up with the flu or some sort of sickness. And this entire year I haven't been sick at all, other than, you know, anxiety and panic attacks because I think I have COVID for no symptoms at all.
My imagination is firing on cylinders I didn't know it could fire on right now.
No, I'm sure like that many people together, because we used to, you know, we'd be at conventions and it'd be like coming home from Playlist and being like, I feel so run down, I must be hungover. And it's like, no, you hugged 1,000 strangers, you freak.
You have an infection.
It's like really kind of gross if you think about it. I mean, the germs that spread, I feel like we've learned a lot this year about science. Well, some people have learned about science, some have not, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, one thing I've learned about you this past year, other than the front-facing like tech interests that you have, is that you're into jujitsu and have been for a while, and it's so lovely to see someone like introduce their private passion to like the world. And so I'm curious, one, about how you got into jujitsu, and then two, about how you made the decision to be like, I'm going to tell people that I've been into jujitsu. Because also my older brother lives in Philadelphia and he's big into jujitsu.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's really nice to also see like someone radically different than him. Yeah, he's in Philly just like rolling around, but he can't now. So it's frustrating for him.
That's been honestly the worst part about this past year. But I just was talking today. I posted a video. I interviewed the guy that I've been training with, Kenny Florian, who's so incredible and just so talented. And like his mindset for introducing me to jiu-jitsu was just I don't know, it's like something that you can never replace. And he did recently move out of Los Angeles. So I was like, no, I'm so sad. But I feel like so many people are leaving here. But I think my decision to start was actually, I was at a restaurant and there was this guy that was like yelling at his wife, like being so mean, saying the most terrible things to this woman. And she's crying. And I like turned around. I was like, I can't stand this anymore. So I was like, maybe she'd stop crying if you would stop yelling at her. I'm just, like common nonsense. And he stands up and like starts charging after me. And he's like, you effing B. He's like, mind your business. I'm going to knock your head off. And I was like, oh, okay. And then my sister like grabs a butter knife. We stand up from the restaurant. All these people like come out of the kitchen to like see what's happening. And then he's like, he sits down and then gets thrown out of the restaurant. And then, well, we got free dessert, which was nice. but it was like in that moment, I was like, I could do nothing to protect myself from this old man. Like absolutely nothing. So it was just like that lack of confidence and just feeling so like defeated. So I just walked into a jiu-jitsu gym like next week, and I'd always been really fascinated with jiu-jitsu because I'm a huge Tool fan, and Maynard, the lead singer of Tool, over the past however many years I've been a fan, like they've always talked about jiu-jitsu, and it's really good for women and smaller people because you're kind of using your body weight and things like that. So it's just such a great art. But my decision to not share it though was I kind of didn't want to feel like I started another hobby and I was just going to quit it. Yeah. And also I feel like that pressure to go and do something and then post and share is just, it's too much. So I was like, I'm going here.
Yeah. It takes the like actual integrity out of the hobby a bit, in my opinion, that it's like, now it's no longer for me, it's for other people. And so that's why it's so cool.
Right. There's a fine line between using like your platform or your reach for accountability, because some things you're like, I'm going to say I want to do this and then it'll like make me feel accountable. But something like that where it's like a craft that's going to take time, I could see why you'd want to be like, this is just mine for a minute to see if it's really my jam. If you had a time machine and could go back to that evening, would you do a move on him?
So now I'm concerned because now I know way too many moves that are kind of lethal. So I also, so during like the pandemic, I also started training Kali again, which is,
I told Mamie before we started this, I was like, Justina's the most interesting person to me. Yes. One of the most interesting internet people that I've ever encountered, because you have this incredible intelligence and like this tech savvy world that is part of you, but you also have this like such fascinating private shit going on that I'm like, I'll get a glimpse of it and I'm like, she's hiding something very powerful and we don't know what it is, but she's letting people know little by little that I'm like, yeah, she holds the secrets to the universe.
Like we just got 1 second of digestine where you're just like, I know the lethal moves.
It really kind of is that thing. It's like, so the other training that I started doing is like knife training, and it's like so now so like my trainer's like, I need to teach you some things that aren't lethal because everything that I've taught you is like deadly. So I'm like, and then when we're training like the moves that I'm going for, he's like, yep, okay, that's great, dead, yep. So it's one of those things where now I'm kind of trying to hone it in to make sure that you know I'm not actually going to really hurt someone.
Well, but question, would you ever, because I watch a decent amount of knife things, and that I watch like knife Fortune making Fire, and Fortune Fire, and I know they have a spinoff, you know, and I love Doug Marcaida. I got my boyfriend a fake sparring knife in his stocking this year. So but great. Like, would you ever do both jiu-jitsu or the knife set like competitively? So not like, I don't think you need to go get your fix in the alleyways, but I know a couple you can hang out in.
All right, well, let me know. I'll go find them. I don't know about like competitively, but it was interesting even when I first started jiu-jitsu because I never kind of went into it with that competitive mindset. Now, and everyone's like, well, if you want to compete, you should probably do it as a white belt because once you start getting higher levels, it starts getting really serious.
I watch Cobra Kai.
Oh my God, it's so good. I actually, so I want to name my garage gym COVID Kai.
That's perfect.
My God, those are going to be the cleanest mats anyone has ever sparred on.
Oh man.
But okay, I'm also curious because obviously you look very like a blonde woman when you go into a jiu-jitsu gym.
Yeah.
Was that intimidating? Was it like a sense of proving yourself in so many ways? Or jiu-jitsu gyms, like my brother has said, like they're the friendliest gyms of all time and it's an incredibly welcoming circuit, and that's like what he's aspired to with it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious your experience.
It depends on the gyms, but I mean, when I would travel, I would go to gyms just randomly. Every place that I went in the US, I would just like research, find the best gym, go in and train. And everyone was so nice and very welcoming. And I've met a lot of really cool girls through it as well. Cool. So it is the most intimidating thing ever. And it took me maybe like 6 months to a year to actually be comfortable rolling with someone and to kind of, I guess, disassociate the fact that you're like this close to somebody. And I think that's hard with a lot of people, especially I've a lot of like my girlfriends too. They're like, yeah, like my boyfriend doesn't like this or that. So it's like taking away that intimacy factor, because that is not a factor at all. So I think for somebody who doesn't train, they don't understand that. And so I think that's been a kind of a conflict, I think, for a lot of girls.
Wait, how long have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
This March, it would be 3 years, but obviously this past year, I haven't trained very much at all. At the beginning, I was kind of training a little bit here and there. And then if somebody gets a COVID test, then we'll be able to train. But pretty much for 2 years, it was pretty consistent.
Wow. That's
so impressive.
So cool. And it also, just like the poetic juxtaposition of working online in something that like the connection is so through wires and then working on a mat where the connection is so like physical and in your face. There's something very poetically beautiful about the balance of all of it, in my opinion.
Well, also, one of the weird thing too is I feel like for you guys as well, like the YouTube thing and everything that we're doing, I feel like we all get so comfortable doing stuff that it's just, I was like, I'm patting myself on the back. I'm like, Justine, you're such a good editor. Like, good job. You're really great.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it just becomes so comfortable that I felt like I wasn't being challenged either. So it's like going on the mats and doing something that is so absolutely difficult. I mean, I've left that gym crying and in tears just because I thought that like I was doing a good job, and then I got choked out. I'm like, okay, you suck. You're worthless. But it's like building on that was so amazing. And I think one of the things I learned the most about myself was kind of every time I would get an injury, because it's like, what can you do while you can't do the things that you want to do? Like, what can you do to better yourself in the meantime? So that kind of really helped me throughout this whole pandemic, was like, okay, I can't train, but I can watch videos. I started editing jiu-jitsu videos for the guy that I used to train with. So it's like that you're still doing it, but just in a different way.
Cool. That's very cool. Very, very cool.
A new year can mean a new you, but that doesn't mean that your taste buds are different. When it comes to what you're craving, maybe that's still the old you. Order your old favorites and try something new with DoorDash. DoorDash connects you with the restaurants you love right now and right to your door. And now you can even get grocery essentials you need with DoorDash. So let's say you decided to cook at home, you man the grocery store, you battle through it, but then you realize you forgot eggs. Don't worry, you can order 1 ingredient, 2 ingredient, a whole damn cart. And ordering is easy. Open the DoorDash app, choose what you want from where you want, and your items will be left safely outside your door with a contactless delivery drop-off setting. And whether you want your local favorites, your little mom and pop places, your little Italian joint on the corner, or you want to hit up your favorite chains, they've got all of it. They've got everything from, the little spot down the corner that serves great Cuban food to Chipotle a couple miles away. And for a limited time, our listeners are going to get a deal. You can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees off your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code TMGW2021. That's 25% off and up to a $10 value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code TMGW2021. Don't forget, that's code TMGW2021 for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change. Terms apply.
Where did your jiu-jitsu guy move to? He's out of Los Angeles now?
Yeah, I think he's still trying to figure it out. It's so hard because it's like when you have a family here and you live in Venice, that's not really where you want to raise your kids.
Right, totally.
Sure. Speaking of raising things.
Let
us move on to your lettuce.
This honestly, I'm like,
Mamrie's been like foaming at the mouth to ask you about.
I'm like, this internet legend, Justine, who has like years of incredibly exciting things. I'm like, please tell me about your journey in growing lettuce.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how much fun this was. Like, so I had to restart the lettuce because I was gone for 3 weeks. Okay. And then like the lifetime of it after you grow so much, it kind of starts, not being as tasty and as crisp. Okay. So I was like, okay, we're going to restart that. But it started with like a small little herb garden and then just like adding like these little fresh herbs to like my salads and to like my eggs. And so I was like, this is great. I eat a lot of salad. What if I grow my own lettuce? So, you know, I buy like a $900 freaking Aero Garden to do industrial lettuce growing.
It's so on brand
Spaceship.
for you. That just like the LED lights in it and it's like the entire aesthetic of it. It's like, yeah, this is some high-tech lettuce and I'm so on board for
Like,
it.
did that lettuce just get back from Ibiza? Like, that lettuce is a DJ.
It's incredible. I mean, they have smaller ones too, which are not that aggressive, but it's so easy. Like you have these little pods, you just put it in and then there's like a timer every 2 weeks. You add some plant food and you basically don't do anything. You just watch it grow and
Have you
cut
been
it.
tempted to expand your farming skills? Get a little plot of land somewhere?
You know, I'm thinking, well, then I'd have to like plant it outside. So I feel like I might just start, you know, these are stackable as well. So you can get stackable ones.
God. I'm going to check on you in 6 months and it's going to be like Biodome and be like, excuse Justine, are you in there?
Yeah, she's just rolling around on her jujitsu mats and then trimming lettuce.
With her knife. With her knife.
That's where Jenna comes in because I'm one of those people, like once I get into something, I mean, there's no middle ground. It's either like I do it or I don't. There's nothing.
I say this is my life now.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I like something.
100%.
So that's where Jenna comes in, where she's like, you cannot buy an entire full house garden, you know, like, so that's where Jenna comes into play very often.
Oh my gosh.
Well, speaking of DJs.
Yes.
DJ Mini Matt.
Oh yes.
Your pup extraordinaire. First of all, you've had him for years now. What was this process?
So would it be weird if I said I got him because of a brand deal?
Oh my
Not
God,
weird
no. I'm
at
trying
all.
to get a brand deal to clone my dog.
Yeah.
my
yeah,
God.
Mabry's
Like I'm
in
actively
the
being like,
process of-
would anyone like to just pay for the cost? We'll clone Beans.
It's expensive. I've looked
Like
it up
50
as
grand.
well.
I know. Okay, so you got a dog for a brand deal. I'm so proud of you for not naming the dog Brand Deal.
Oh my gosh. Well, so it was with the ad council and it was to bring awareness to pet adoption. And I was like, this is great. I love this so much. I can't get a dog though. I can't. I travel too much.
Right.
Then I started searching on the Shelter Pets website and I see this
That'll
litter
do
of,
it. That'll do
oh my
it.
gosh, lost my mind. And then I called the place like after like a week and a half of like working on the video and they're like, yeah, we have one left. He's the runt. He doesn't really look very well, but you can come in and see him. So I went and saw him and he looked disgusting. He was just like rolling in his own crap. I was like, that's my baby. And then I took him home and oh my God, he had so many health issues. But after a year, he finally, it was all sorted out. And we had really big plans that he was going to be a DJ. I was going to take him on tour. I bought like a full set, like Pioneer DJ set, like not even like a small one.
This is what she would do for Beans. Like this
100%.
is truly Beans and DJ Mini Matt should collab at some point.
Wow.
Oh my God,
Wait,
they need to.
So you bought an entire set for him to come on tour and potentially DJ.
Yeah, and this was not just like a small set. This is what the actual professional DJs, like, this is what they use. So I got him a small one just to practice on, of course.
What? You're just like forcing his paw onto the
No,
record?
I don't have to force him at all. All I say is, okay, Maddie, time to DJ. And I go like this, and he mimics me, and he will like turn and scratch. And
Wow.
like, and then I realized he doesn't like children or like, he's not really that social with people. So the whole taking him on tour thing, he actually does have an unreleased song that I've never released, which I probably should.
Justine, are we getting the exclusive?
You might be. Yeah.
Oh my God, you have to release this. What is
I
the name
know.
of the song?
Believe, and I sang on it.
What we deserve in 2021.
Oh my God.
When we
Wow.
went and recorded this, the best thing, this was like, I mean, this was really the first year of his life. And I came out of the vocal booth and Maddie had pooped because he wasn't fully trained. And the guy was like, I'm going to assume this wasn't you.
We only find this hysterical because we have done these extreme
Yes.
endeavors with our own dogs, and it is
It just
in
feels
hindsight
good.
explaining it is a difficult situation.
It is.
But at the time, it makes total sense.
I know. Like
Oh
2
God,
months
I'm
ago,
crying.
my boyfriend is like, "Why do you have like airplane bottles of Grey Goose?" And I was like, "Oh, because I did a photo shoot with Beans where she was the Queen's Gambit."
And this was not a brand deal. This is Mabry just watched the show and got
I
inspired.
was like, "I need to make a small wig."
It was a great movie or show. I loved it so much.
Oh, Justin, you're killing
That's
me.
No, I'm so
absolutely
glad you guys
wonderful.
get it.
Well, okay,
you. More than
we
you
cannot wait to hear Believe. I mean, I cannot wait to bust it in my car constantly. But so for our game, okay, we're gonna do a little game with you. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm scared, but it's fine.
This is easy breezy. The name of this game is iJustine or My Justine. So basically, you've been online forever. And so you have an unbelievable archive of videos.
Yeah.
And so I went to your YouTube channel and I sorted them by the oldest. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say a video title and you let me know if it's real or fake.
If it's yours, iJustine's, or it's Mamrie's,
My
My Justine's.
Okay. I honestly don't even know that. I can't believe how much
these-
crap I've posted.
Oh, same. I mean, like when Mamrie told me this is what she was doing, I got secondhand shivers just at the idea of someone doing that to anything I posted. But I think all of the fictitious ones are influenced by real titles in some way.
Yes, exactly. But also what I found incredible while going back there is how basically you used YouTube as Instagram story. Because some of these videos are 20 seconds long.
That's what you did back then.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. That I'm like, I can't even figure out how to do my own Instagram story right now. But
Right? Okay. First one. Is this a chipmunk or a squirrel?
I think that's me.
Yes, that is
yeah,
real.
that's
Yes.
an iJustine video.
Great job, where you literally just asked viewers if this was a chipmunk or a squirrel on the beach.
See, she was already using it for exactly what it was, crowdsourced information.
I love
I
it.
wonder what the answer was.
I know.
I don't remember.
We're going to have to go to the comments. We're
I
going to
think
have
it
to go
was
to the top.
15 years ago.
It really was. It was at least 14.
Oh,
Okay.
shoot.
How about this one? Cyclops fish.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's the name of that video.
It's one-eyed fish. Great job.
Whoa!
Wow.
Wow.
See, that's a pro. That is
mean,
a
I
pro.
remember because that fish was very close to my heart, and then he died, and
Well,
I was
there's a
very
follow-up
traumatized.
video. My one-eyed fish died.
Yeah, I mean, but either way, it's still clickbait, right?
Bait.
Fish.
Nice. Good job.
you.
Good job.
Ah.
Wow.
1,000 years old.
Here's another one. Hola from the beach, yo.
That sounds like something I'd probably say.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I said that. God, what an idiot.
Adding the yo is what really.
Honestly, it's not terrible. I mean, the grand scheme of things that could be embarrassing to post on video titles, I think it's
True.
totally safe.
I agree. Okay, here's one. I got pooped on.
I mean, I want to say that's me.
Yeah! And to be very honest, it could be all three of us have posted videos with this title.
I mean, I probably posted that same title like 6 times at this point.
Colleen Ballinger has a whole playlist.
Oh my God.
Okay, here's one. Hit in the head with an apple.
That's me.
That's your second video.
Yes.
But here's my favorite part about that is that in the archive, you showed the BTS of it before you released the actual video. So there's a video where you're like, this is what we're going to do. You're going to throw the apple at my head. And then a week later, it's just the video. You really like teased it out like a trailer.
See, I feel like now is the time to bring these all back this year as if they're brand new.
Ooh, that would be a great challenge of like make new videos that still can use your first video's title.
I feel like
gosh.
that's already been
Or just
done.
like remake
Probably.
them all
Yeah.
in like HD or like 4K, 8K,
Oh, wow.
throwing like frame by frame.
amazing.
Okay, we've got a couple more.
Oh, I'm scared.
I Frenched a parrot.
I don't think that was me.
No, the title was Tongued by a Parrot.
Honestly, I'd click on it. I would click on it immediately and be like, I got to see what down here.
Oh God!
Thumbnail, you're just
I'm gonna
all
go.
up on a parrot. Tongued by a parrot. Oh,
I'm sweating.
so good. So a lot of animal content in the early days, Justine.
I mean, I didn't have much else to do.
There's
you
one
know?
that's just like a monk seal, and that it's just you filming a seal for 30 seconds.
I mean, but at least she left her house. Where were you and I? Just in our
Truly
apartments
just in Brooklyn drinking Corona.
Oh my God. I mean, I might have been homeless at that point, to be honest with you. So I mean,
No idea. And then the last one I'll do is ever the technological genius, the video twittering to Ellen.
I think I did do that. That's probably why I never was ever allowed on Ellen, was because of that video.
You twittered to her.
That's what they called it back in the day.
Twittering. Wow.
Oh God, I'm so hot right now. I don't know if I have COVID or you guys just. I'm sweating.
The reality is your archives are so okay.
Incredible.
We haven't even gone through ours because they would be really traumatizing to ourselves. And
absolutely. I'm like, why do I never work in this town? It's like, because you've shit on every single celebrity that exists.
The amount of puns you've created with your vagina near a celebrity is concerning. So we would rather you stay at home and make those videos.
So tonguing a parrot people won't even bat an eye.
That is true. That is true. I think people have been canceled for less. So, you know.
Truly. Justine, this has been so fun. Thank you for making the time to chat with us and to indulge us in our silly trip down memory lane with you. Where can people find what you're working on? If there's stuff that you're working on, it's also a totally safe answer to be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I got nothing going on. You don't need to look at me.
I have a hummingbird live stream happening right now of a nest.
All I do is watch my hummingbirds.
Wait, I've never seen a hummingbird nest before. It's been live streaming for over 180 hours. We just had 2 eggs hatch this week.
You don't understand.
Amazing. Oh my God.
We have much to do. We have a lot.
I made one of those hummingbird feeder hats last week.
Like, I want to get a hummingbird tattoo now. So, you know, when it's COVID safe times.
Yeah.
I mean, our hummingbird worlds just collide. We'll compare notes.
Yeah.
Did you, have you seen a nest before?
No, I haven't.
Not in my yard. I mean, I've seen one. I mean, they're so small.
But have you seen the baby's poop?
No.
Oh my God. This is going to blow your mind. Okay. I'll have to send you a video, but they scoot their little butts on top of the nest and then the poop shoots out like a freaking rocket.
Oh,
it's unlike anything I've ever seen.
Justine, you know what I think we just got? I got pooped on part 2.
Oh my God. See, why not? What else? 2021, I got pooped on again.
Not.
Oh, that's
my God.
incredible. Okay. So, well, I'm out of breath because I'm so excited about this hummingbird content. Anything else that people should know about what you've been up to?
Yeah, your podcast, all the stuff.
Oh yeah, podcast. I actually have some podcast questions for you guys after this. But yeah, I mean, my sister started one. It's called Same Brain. It's been super fun. And, you know, hopefully once we can actually travel again, I really wanted to kind of take it on the road and just go in random places and bring our little roadcaster and film in strange locations. So hopefully we can do that.
Well, thanks so much for making time with us. You are a delight.
Truly a delight.
And just really a box within you are a nesting doll of interests. And it's so fun to learn more.
I love it.
So fun. Well, make sure you guys check out the Hummingbird feed. It's great content.
Oh, we're there now.
Yeah, we got to sign off.
Thanks, Justine.
Bye.
Well, that conversation was such a hoot that I have worked up an appetite. Luckily, we got some DoorDash delivered to fill this tummy that's been filled with laughter.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll see you next week on another episode of How Ya Been?